Well, ladies and gentlemen, never did I think I'd get on the internet and see Mr. Choki getting on the internet to tell me again that I'm wrong about something. The first time he said that I was wrong about Ruan Mei, and well, he took a fat L on his head that time, didn't he?
Because quite frankly, there has been a lack of understanding with regards to how each support function in different teams, and at worst, spreading misinformation and overhyping a specific unit.
Ruan Mei's way higher. She's way higher than bronya. She's way higher than everyone.
That's completely capped. Ruan Mei, she is not the Omega Giga power creep. She's not power creeping the hyper carry team comps. I can say that with absolute confidence right now. Hyper carry team comps with bronya as well as another support unit, they're still gonna be really fucking good. She is like the enabler to duo DPS comps.
Now he's claiming that I'm wrong about saying the bronya sparkle comp is overhyped and incredibly mid. Now I'm wrong about this. And his rebuttal to this, the argument he provided, has got to be the most out of touch argument I've heard, I think, in the entirety of Honkai Star Rail since its release date. Brother essentially TLDR said, this comp is actually insanely broken. All you need for it to function optimally, quote unquote, optimally, all you need is to donate a kidney. Speed tune your sparkle in bronya to where they're moving faster than the speed of light, creating time remnants so that you can go back into time and say, what the f was I thinking, putting all that investment into this composition just for it to perform on the same level as several other compositions that don't require as nearly as much investment.
These three supports, they can be at E0, S0, like none of the idolants, none of the signature light cone mean a single damn thing, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, listen, none of my pay to win attributes that I have, that doesn't matter. It's not gonna affect the run in any way. E1 Ruan Mei ignoring 20% of everyone's defense, you know, her signature light cone giving 10 energy to the party on each cycle, enabling you to get up ults faster, potentially one turn ult with people. That doesn't matter. Like, signature light cone from bronya at S5, 45% damage bonus given to blade. It doesn't affect the run at all. In fact, you can just take off all the light cones. It's not gonna make a difference, you know? I'm not gonna take them off, but you know, you get what I mean. You don't really need them. You don't really need like Bronya's E1 that's gonna potentially save myself some skill points on the skill point greedy comp to potentially prevent me from running out of skill points, even though I probably still ran out of skill points. You know, you don't need that either.
Zan's copies, like you have seen from my previous speed guide, or some kind of 4-piece ego set to ensure that we can keep this up, right?
It's relatable. Let's keep it relatable, all right? Just one S5 DDD and 174 speed Bronya. Yeah, keep it relatable.
I'm just gonna be going ahead and showing you guys this variation where you only need one dance to keep it a little bit more relatable.
Thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate it, dude. I really needed that.
But Ruan Mei herself, it doesn't really matter, right? She just needs to be there to provide this 10% speed.
Guys, Ruan Mei doesn't really matter, okay? Listen, her 75,000k break effects when you break shields with your DPS, that doesn't really matter, okay? Her all-type res penetration, multiplicative damage bonus, doesn't really matter. The 68% damage bonus she gives, that doesn't matter. Delaying enemies so that you can't take damage, none of that matters. Just her 10% speed damage bonus, okay? That's the only thing that matters.
I will notice my bronya is sparkle.
That's quite big. Impressive.
These are the real highlighters of this showcase. This is what you really need.
175 speed. Tested this.
Higher stats, guys. That's what you need. High stats. 175 speed sparkle, 174 speed bronya.
And I have completely forsaken my crit damage.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Damage control. That's what we call that. Let's make the investment conditions that are extremely high. Let's bring down the damage control of that by saying you just forsake crit damage. Just don't worry about crit damage, and you should be able to do it, right? Surely you guys can do it now, right? Bro really got on the internet, looked the camera dead in the eyes, and said, "All you really need is just 175 speed sparkle and 174 speed bronya, and a gacha smack is this day. He is playing it sub-optimal." Bro really got on the internet and told y'all that all you need is an average of 10 speed on every single relic piece you have outside of the speed boot. So you need to have 10 speed on every other relic piece outside of the speed boot on your sparkle, and 10 speed on every single relic piece outside of the speed boot on your Bronya. He really sat here, looked the camera dead in the eyes and said, this comp is insane, bro. You just need 175 speed on Sparkle and 174 speed on Bronya. First of all, let alone telling somebody to put 175 speed on a character with 101 base speed who has 0 speed enhancements in their traces, in their kit functionality, no speed enhancement. They're not like Ting Yun, who gives herself a 20% speed boost. They're not like Hanya, who gives herself a 20% speed boost. No. These characters get no speed enhancements from their kit. So he's essentially telling you to strike lightning twice and then strike it again right next to the lightning for it to function optimally. And then he has the audacity to say, wait, that's not it. You also need S5 dance, and you need Ruan Mei. And then it's insane, bro. What a surprise, guys. It's actually a strong comp after you've donated the kidney and liver and created time remnants with your Harmony characters. I would argue any comp would be insane after all that investment. Brother got on the internet and told me that I have a skill issue for not having the same investment. If I still ain't zero cycling with this comp, bro,
It's skill issue. Okay, because this is MOC 11, right? There's no world you can't zero cycle with this comp. 100%. But you do need dance though.
Pokke, that's not a skill issue. That's a investment. That's a max refresh 7 days a week. That's a I spent money to get better issue. I'm not the one with the E2 DHIL. That's you, my guy. I'm not the one with the E2 Ruan Mei and her signature light cone. That's you, my guy. My investment in the builds that I present to my community, my target audience is the vast majority of Honkai Star Rail players. Your target audience is the elitists, which is the people who are backing you on this argument right now. I would argue that if elitists are supporting your argument, you probably need to take a step back, get a paradigm shift. Go create a free-to-play account. Get that paradigm shift and remind yourself, right now, you're more out of touch than Hassan, brother, right? You out of touch. This shit is entirely relatable. I would argue maybe half the people that went to your video and watched that probably saw that 175 and 174 speed build and say, yeah, I'm out. Whereas with me, on the other hand, here's how I create my content. I say, what is the midline? Where's the line? Where's the middle, right? You have free-to-play players who are also debatably out of touch. You have whales and dolphins. They're also out of touch. Then you have the middle, right? These are the $5 a month spenders. These are the $15 a month spenders. These are the battle pass and monthly login spenders and people who occasionally spend some money here and there because they want a character or a light con. That's the middle. When I make my content, I try to stay as close to that middle line as I possibly can because I understand once I start spending more money, once I start doing all these max refreshes, I can never go back to that middle line. My now comprehension of this game is permanently up here with dolphins and whales. And what happens is I start talking to y'all about things that are completely unrelatable. I start talking to y'all about like, yeah, bro, what do you mean you don't have 10 speed on a catalog of 10 speed substats just sitting in your relic piece? What do you mean? What do you mean, bro?
Yeah, I took out a small loan of $1 million.
That's what you sound like right now, little bro. You took out a small loan of $1 million. It's not that hard, guys. Listen, bro, just take out a small loan of $1 million. My guy said, listen, brother, get higher stats and they'll do better. All right, get a 300 crit damage Jing Yuan instead of a 225 crit damage Jing Yuan, and he's gonna deal more damage. Wow, what a surprise, bro. Now, I'm gonna dial it back. I think I've made my point with regards to the absurdity of this argument. What I'm gonna tell you here is that nobody, 99.9% of the people in our community are never gonna have 175 speed Sparkle or Bronya. It's just not going to happen. And you can't try to do damage control by saying just forsake all the crit. It doesn't matter if you tell them to forsake. They haven't refreshed. They haven't put as much money into their account as you have. So nobody's going to have that even if they forsake it. Nobody just has 10 substat speed pieces lying around because they don't go into the game and say, oh, let me get these 30 speed pieces that I have because everybody else is already built. And let me just start gambling. Roll, max. Oh, that's trash. Throw it away. All right, next one. Go. Oh, look, we hit it. We finally hit it. It's a numbers game. And this is the out of touch aspect that you have to remind yourself of. Nobody else is doing that shit. Vast majority of people are getting some average pieces and they're calling it a day. This is why when I make my content, I always say, if you roll 1 on crit and roll 1 on crit damage and spread it across every single piece, this should be your crit value, because that's average. That's the average thing that somebody can achieve. And they even give me shit for that. They even give me shit for saying just hit crit rate and crit damage just 1 time a piece. Like, dude, I can't do that, man. That's ridiculous. It's like, so imagine you telling them, because that's a 50% chance of that occurring every time you do a roll. Imagine you telling them to hit 1 stat, 25% chance 4 times. 3 if you're lucky, but 4 times, and then do that 10 more times on every single piece that's not a speed boot. You get what I'm trying to say here? It's unrelatable to a ridiculous degree. This is not just high investment. This is out of touch investment. Like, this is pretty much something that's just not going to happen for the vast majority of players. So when I get on the internet and say this shit is mid for 4 cycles, and then you get on the internet saying, oh, but you could do 6 cycles, just donate a kidney. That's not really a good argument. In fact, I would argue that it's even a worse argument, because ultimately when we play this game in the MOC format, you're going to take one of those characters and put them on the other team. Let's keep in mind here, you didn't just take any 3 supports, you took the 3 supports, the most broken supports in the entirety of the game that you always use on one team or the other. And you tried to say, put them all on this one team. That shit is butchering everybody else's second half. If I pull this shit up right here and I say, okay, we're gonna run this. This guy's lightning. Okay, he's weak to a bunch of lightning. Let's throw Ting Yun, Jing Yuan, bronya, not bronya, Fu Xuan, and for this 4th slot, Sparkle, right? Or for that 4th slot, Ruan Mei, right? Ruan Mei or Sparkle is 100% taking this 4th spot. There's no doubt about it. One of them is gonna take that spot. Whichever one you choose them, right? Let's just say it's Sparkle. You take Sparkle to take that 4th slot, or Ruan Mei, whichever one you like. This second half, this is gonna be an Imbibiter Lune. It can even be a Blade. It can even be a Doctor Ratio. But whichever, you're gonna put a Ruan Mei on that comp. Not even a goddamn debate about it, right? Doctor Ratio, Silver Wolf, and then boom, right here. If you really wanna get sweaty, you throw in another buffer. But that's the reality of 99.99999% of people that are playing this game. Nobody is going to tell you to go and put Blade on one comp with Bronya, Ruan Mei, and Sparkle. It's just not going to happen. And guess what? If you take out the Ruan Mei, which some of these dipshits are trying to tell you, oh, you don't need Ruan Mei. Yes, you fucking do. If you take out Ruan Mei, who else are you going to put right here? Let's say you put a Lorcha right here. Well, now these two need even more speed. Or let's make it even more unrelatable. You need S5 Dance 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 on a Sparkle. And then you're not going to get rid of Bronya's light cone on her for another Dance Dance Dance. Here's the other reality. This, if you don't have E1 Bronya, Lorcha will probably help you out here. But if you don't have Lorcha and you don't have E1 Bronya, you're running out of skill points. In fact, in one of Pokke's videos, bro literally ran out of skill points, even though his E1 Bronya procced her E1 passive, which saves a skill point, twice. Bro still ran out of skill points.
Unfortunately, I ran out of skill points here, so Bronya couldn't go.
With the Sparkle Bronya Ruan Mei comp. And this is what I'm trying to tell you, is like all of this just to try and prove to you that the comp is good when it's not. It's like, bro, just take the L on that. It's not even a bad take. Me saying, yo, it's overhyped. You can just take out Sparkle and put in Pella, right? Or take out Bronya. You can leave the Sparkle on the composition and then, yeah, Sparkle with Pella. But like telling people to run all that on a Blade comp, just so what? So you can do a little more damage, so you can 0 cycle in a game that needs 10 cycles to clear it. This is what I mean. You go down this rabbit hole of this hardcore mentality that just doesn't make sense. The reality of the situation is, it's not a matter of the comp being stronger. Because I saw the dumb fucks saying like making this argument. In fact, Pokke himself made the argument. Like my video was implying that the other comps were better. It's not that the other comps are better. It's that the other comps get the job done in almost an identical performance. You're over here like nitpicking, counting pennies and shit. Like, who cares? I'm a 1 cycle if I take one of these characters out and get way more value out of that character on my other composition on the other side. That's where the real argument is. It's like, I don't need all them people on my Blade comp. Why? Why the hell would I do that? And then my other comp's butchered with its characters and availability. It just doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean? Now, the last thing that I'm gonna talk to y'all about is bro said I need to try a slow Ruan Mei. He told me I need to try a slow Ruan Mei. I would like to go back, I think almost 2 to 3 months ago, to the person who said it themselves that slow Ruan Mei is the best. Pokke, you ain't putting me on game. I've been said this shit. Just like the nerds in the comment section that said I don't understand action value. I was one of the very first people to cover action value in this community. Me and Grimro were one of the first creators to even put people on game with how action value works. I know all about this shit. I just don't go and say, oh, you can do this, just donate a kidney and liver. I don't ever do that. I don't even think about that because I'm like, yeah, nobody's gonna achieve that. But let's go ahead and, go down memory lane here real quick. Rogue, zoom in on how long ago I said this shit. 2 months ago. Let's go ahead and play this with a non-speed boot because we just want her to go first so that she could pop her ult, and then we never want to use her ult again. We want full uptime on the first ult, and that's it, because it's a 0 cycle. So if you do everything correctly, she's gonna pop her ult, give the whole party the damage bonus, the alt-type res penetration, the defensive shred, and then that's it. She's off, she's gone. No, never worry about Ruan Mei again. But in order to do that, you gotta run Sprightly Von Whack and have her speed low enough, which is 120, 122, 123, somewhere around there, low enough to go first and then never go again. Imagine that. Imagine thinking you actually put your boy on game. That's tough, bro. That's tough. Anyways, I think we get the point here. Gacha Smack is right as usual. This comp is insanely overhyped. If you want it to be good, yeah, just donate a kidney, some liver, and go create a couple time remnants with your incredibly speedy supports. No speed tune. You guys can continue convincing yourselves this comp is good, but it's actually hot trash considering the cost to performance.